I'm David Dirks, the meeting and event planner with the National Alliance to End Homelessness. I personally want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to have a little chat, to view the webinar that Anna Blasco and myself have kind of teamed up on to get some, information over to you guys to hopefully make your experience a lot better as a speaker at our conference. Anna Blasco is our senior technical assistance specialist on our CAP team here at the Alliance, and she is a veteran Alliance employee as well as a veteran speaker and a workshop organizer. So Anna will be going through some of the, presentation tips, things that you should remember, and, just some good ideas to keep in mind when you're presenting at the conference. I will speak more on some key reminders regarding logistics and a brief introduction to our conference app, which I hope all of you have received an invitation to join, that you've downloaded or visited the mobile app on your desktop browser. Without further ado, this presentation really should not last an hour, but we definitely want to go through all of those things that I just discussed, i.e. presentation tips, logistics, and our mobile app. And then we will sort of take any questions. You guys see the chat room here. If you have any questions, please do let us know, and we will answer those questions as we see fit. And without further ado, I will like to turn it over to Anna. Anna, if you could, begin your presentation, and we can get this started.
Thanks so much, David. So I just wanted to start off by telling folks a little bit about our conference attendees. So David, if you could go to the next slide. So looking at where folks are from, we have attendees from all 44 states, although you'll see that since our conference is in California, 32% of attendees are actually coming from California. But we have a pretty wide variety of folks from other places as well. You can go to the next slide. An unscientific analysis of what types of organizations folks are from, 63% appear to be from nonprofits, 15% are from government, and 11% are businesses, so that could be affordable housing developers, HMIS vendors, there's a variety of other sort of connected businesses who are also attending, and 1% are from academic institutions. So I think what's important, especially for our veteran presenters who are on the line, that for the vast majority of participants, this is their first NAEH conference, if not ever, at least in a few years. So looking at how many conferences, NAEH conferences people have attended in the past 2 years, 59% haven't attended any of them, and 19% have attended one. So there is a sort of group of honorary NAEH staff members, I would say, who have attended all 4 of our last 4 conferences in the past 2 years, that 6%. So if you're one of those people, thank you so much for continuing to come back to our conference. We very much appreciate it. So some very brief presentation tips, and this is going to take 30 seconds, so hang on. It's not going to be a long, drawn-out presentation, but you can go to the next slide, David. So just when you're developing your presentation, a few things to keep in mind, and some feedback we've gotten from our conference attendees over the years, is to think about what you wish you knew before you got started. You're presenting at our conference because you've developed a new innovative idea or your community's really accomplished things. So what helped you get to where you are today? What would have been helpful for you to know before you got started? Keeping in mind that every community and organization is unique, so our poverty levels may be different, our cost of housing may be different, but it's important to try and focus on what tangible, actionable things people can take home with them and implement in their own community. So sometimes it's even more helpful to hear what didn't work than what did work, so that people can kind of understand, what are some of the challenges that you faced and how did you deal with those. Next slide. Another thing that speakers have expressed sort of concerns about in the past to me is wanting to make sure that they're not repeating things. I would stress that that really shouldn't be a concern. Sometimes repetition can be really helpful. Workshops are kind of long, actually, and our attention spans can be short, so sometimes reinforcing a key message is actually what we're going for in certain cases. More and more, you'll find that attendees are pulling out their cell phones to take pictures of slides, which is extremely flattering, if you ask me, that our slides are so wonderful that people want to take photographs of them. But you can reassure participants that your presentations are going to be posted online as long as you've gotten them to your Alliance workshop planner or Jamie, who is our conference associate, to get them on our website as quickly as possible. And pretty much as soon as you're done developing that presentation, you can send it along to us even before the conference. That's actually really helpful. Moderators, if we have moderators on the call, thank you so much for your role is extremely important and we really appreciate it. And panelists, it's really valuable that you respect your moderator. We highly value Q&A in our workshops. We think it's a really critical part. Sometimes people come to our conference simply to get one key question answered that they've been struggling with in their community, so we want to allow opportunities for folks to ask those. Your moderator is going to have time cards letting you know how much time you have left, so make sure you just watch and pay attention to your moderator and move on when your time is up. Also, participants may want to ask you individual questions that they didn't really have time for or were didn't want to ask in a full group, so plan to stay maybe a few minutes after your panel's over to allow folks to come up to you and ask those questions. It's important to keep in mind, though, that another panel is probably starting in that same room a few minutes later, so if you see folks trying to set up for the next workshop, please just move to outside of the meeting room or somewhere else so that the next group can get ready. And it's hard for us to anticipate how many participants are going to want to go to which workshop. So if a workshop is really in demand and it's very crowded, the moderator in particular taking a few minutes in the beginning of the workshop to let people know where the empty seats are and try and fill them in can be really helpful. Okay, so you can go to the next slide. Those are really all of my tips. There weren't many, I promised. But if you want more presentation tips, we have some great resources on our website. If you click on the 2016 conference on the front page of our website, there's some tips from TED Talk presenters on giving a really great presentation. I find them really helpful. So if you want even more advice, you can look there. All right, David, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Anna. Moving into some of the logistics reminders. So Anna mentioned earlier that you know, we value your presentations, and it is our goal to get your presentations in the hands and in front of the attendees and even people who weren't able to attend the conference. So there are two deadlines for that. The first deadline to have your presentations to Jamie Coleman is February 8th. Jamie Coleman has been in contact or should have been in contact with all of you up until this point, and we ask that you guys please respect that deadline so that we will be able to basically upload all of the presentations on the laptops that will be stationed in each of the workshop rooms before the conference, so you don't have to do much work. It's totally fine if you guys are still working on your presentations. Just bring, you know, an electronic copy, bring a thumb drive, and you'll be able to upload your presentation on the laptop in that room. Also, you know, we love to have bios. I'll talk more about this in a little bit, but if you haven't emailed your bio to Jamie Coleman, please do that as well. When you guys get to the conference and you are ready to register and check in to receive your name badge, please go straight to the speaker check-in table. You do not have to stand in line with the attendees. There is a special table for all of our speakers. The last reminder, the last deadline, so presentations after the conference, we will upload those on our website and kind of do a roundabout update on our mobile app as well. So if you guys have any updates after the conference, or if you want to sort of work on those presentations and you have some edits to make, we need those presentations by Thursday, February 25th. And like I said, we would love to have everyone's presentations included. It's a very helpful resource to our staff here and also our attendees everywhere else. That's the end of the slideshow presentation. So I'm going to switch my screens. Give me a second here. And we are going to talk about our mobile app, which I'm very excited for. So most of you, if not all of you, should have received an email. The email looks like this. Basically, it was an email saying you're invited to join our mobile app, The Key. Our mobile app is basically the tool that we are using to communicate with all of the attendees, all of our speakers. We're doing surveys. It's a really cool tool. A good thing about our mobile app is that you can access it, obviously, on your mobile phone, on your iPad, but you can also access it on your desktop. Okay? So once you receive that email, you should have clicked that email to say, accept your invitation. So I'm going to log out here. The first screen that you're going to see is you're going to have your login information. So your login information is your email address. Whatever your email address is that you use to register for the conference is your login. My login is a little bit different than you guys if you're logging in for the first time. If this is not your first time, your screen will look exactly like this. If it is your first time, you will be prompted to change your password and to actually update your password. So I'm going to log in. The first thing that you should do when you go into this mobile app on the desktop or even on your phone, you definitely can see all the tabs. So we have a list of all our attendees. We have a list of the agenda. We have all of our speakers, which you guys listed, the people who have information tables at our conference, sponsors, and where the surveys will be housed. Go to your profile, and when you see your profile, this is where if we haven't received a bio or if you've updated your bio, you can update your bio yourself. You can just go here and click Edit My Profile, and you can put all of the general information that belongs to you, your name, your company, your position, your bio. The fun thing about this also is you can also check the following attendee type. If this is your first time attending the conference, if you are a funder, if you're a provider, if you're an advocate, elected official, it's all there. We also have what we call general interest areas. So if you're interested into any of these things, I already populated mine. I'm interested in advocacy, domestic violence, juvenile justice, just different things. That is important because you will get recommendations of workshops to attend. So without searching through the workshop schedule, this will sort of populate, and I will show you this in a few seconds. You can also, if you have, a lot of you guys are, some of you are consultants, or you may have your own blog or website, social media, you can put all of that information in here. So when you go to the agenda, after you filled out all of the information and you selected all your interest areas, the agenda, you will see this. You will see tracks and interest areas. Again, you can basically filter the workshop schedule based off of our tracks that we have. And we have 4 this year for this conference. It's the Ending Family Homelessness track, Ending Youth Homelessness track, a Systemic Response to Homelessness, and Understanding Rapid Housing. I won't go through all this, but you guys will see all of the ways that you can filter and really develop your own personal schedule. You can click on a workshop if you're interested and add it to your schedule. Okay? And then you will also see the recommended tab. So the recommended tab, basically, as I stated earlier, this is all of the workshops that are tagged with that specific area that I'm interested in. So domestic violence, systemic, coordinated entry, all of those things are here for me, and it will let me know when this workshop is happening, what room number it is. If you click on a room number, you will actually see the map pop up. and it will let you know where exactly this workshop is happening at the conference hotel. So for the most part, you guys, this is really the basics for our Speaker One-on-One. I really encourage you all, I'm sorry, I'm going to back up. If you guys are speaking in a workshop, you can upload collateral. So you can upload your presentations, you can upload any YouTube video links, you can upload any document that you may need. I'm going to find a document here, and this is just, you know, some things in our computer, but if I want to upload a presentation, a PDF file, a Word document, you can do that here. I will title it Getting Title of the Workshop by Speaker Name. And then you can just choose the file and then add the document. And then that way, when you go to that actual workshop, I'll just add a document right now. I add a photo. This is actually one of our documents for our app. I'll add this photo, and then you can go to, it wouldn't let me do it. Oh, I'm sorry. You have to name it, or you can't do it. So you can go to the website, and you will see that whatever you just uploaded is down here listed as one of the things that you have uploaded for the conference. So any resources that you guys have, this is again, a really good tool to really use while you're at the conference. If you go on the attendees tab, you will also see that you can filter even attendees. You can filter attendees if they're an advocate or if they're interested in advocacy. Some people, Anna Blasco is here, Megan Blondin is here. Everyone should be an advocate. That's why we're attending this conference and that we're doing the work that we do. But if you're a nonprofit partner, I'm happy to see that some of you guys or some of our attendees have already went through here and selected their interest areas. I won't bore you guys with all of the details. I believe you guys have Jamie's information. You have my contact information. If you guys have any issues, the email stated if you cannot sign into the mobile app, to send me an email. I'll be glad to help you. We will have people on site at our conference at the registration desk if you need help or if you have issues uploading documents onto the app, any of that information. But again, if you send us your bio, if you send us your documents, presentations, or any of your handouts that you have for your workshop, we can upload that stuff for you. So use us as a resource. I'm going to see if we have any questions here. I don't think we do. Okay, no questions. Again, you guys, my email is D as in David, IRKS @naeh.org. If you guys have any questions for Anna or myself, please let us know. We are very excited that you will be joining us in just, 2 weeks now, and we will see all of you in Oakland. Anna, if you don't have anything else to say, we can end this conversation now.
Well, let's just hold on a minute and see if we have some questions coming in.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say, if you're a speaker or a moderator, your Alliance partner who's planning that conference session should be arranging a workshop call for you and the other speakers on the line to talk about your workshop in more detail. We have a question here about how long you should plan to present if there are 3 presenters in your workshop.
Absolutely.
David, correct me if I'm wrong, but each workshop session is some of the workshop sessions are different lengths, so that would depend on which workshop that was, how long it was, and
not this time. Anna,
they're all the same. Okay.
Yeah, they're all the same this time unless it's a micro session, and we do have a few speakers in some of those micro sessions. But generally speaking, we have had different times for workshops in the past. At this conference, the workshops are all 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Great. So typically each speaker, if there's 3 speakers, are about 10 to 15 minutes each, but you'll want to make sure to connect with the Alliance person who's planning that workshop to verify how long you should plan on presenting. And keeping in mind that you'll always talk more than you think you will, or at least that's been my experience, so plan to leave yourself a little wiggle room so you're not rushing through the last 3 of your slides because you've run out of time. So we have another question about how much text should be on a PowerPoint slide. I think you guys all probably have different philosophies about what the best way to do this is. The general sort of consensus is to minimize the amount of text on your PowerPoint slide, but they can be a resource for people after the conference is over because we're posting them on our website, and I know I personally go back and view them. So it's really that's a personal decision, but you don't want to have a book on your PowerPoint slide, but you also want to make sure that it's a tool, not your entire presentation. I have another question about the type of data to be used in a PowerPoint slide. I think you'll have to maybe clarify that question. I'm not sure I follow. But yeah, anybody else who has questions while we're waiting, we'll just hang on the line here another minute or two and see if folks have other questions.
Absolutely.
For all you folks still hanging on the webinar, I just want to say again, reiterate what David said. Thank you so much for making this conference happen. We really could not do it without all of you amazing speakers and presenters talking about all of the great work that you do. We truly appreciate it. You guys are so valuable to us at the Alliance. So thank you so much. And thank you for taking time to join this webinar. I hope that you give us some feedback since this is the first year we've done it. We're kind of wondering how useful it is. So it's very helpful. So we have a question about
it looks like we have a question about, I'll take Audra O'Connell's app question. So Audra, my screen is still shared with you all. So you can go here. So when you go to home, you can click my schedule. And then anything that you've added to your schedule will just pop up here. I hope that was helpful. You're welcome.
Okay, great. So I don't see any other questions. Maurice, I'm going to follow up with an email to you after the workshop is, or after the webinar is over, but I'm not seeing any other questions, so I think we're good. Thank you all so much for participating.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.